LSU was terrific. Thought we played really hard down the stretch. Thought we had times there in the first half, for whatever reason, after the first couple minutes where I thought we were really sharp, that we struggled to convert our offensive aggression and confidence level just really wavered for the next 30, 37, 38 for whatever reason. So we've got to figure that out. LSU did a good job, I thought, of being really heavy in the gaps on our drives, making us kick. We drew some fouls, of course. Didn't do a very good job of converting at the foul line. Sometimes that will affect the way that you execute offensively. Didn't do a great job of interior passing. Didn't do a very good job on the offensive glass. Had a lot of misses and just not a great effort there. The last 15 minutes of the game, again, or so, I thought defensively we were pretty sharp, pretty locked in, pretty connected, and found a way to get some stops. Justin Hill obviously finished with a huge individual play to put us over the hump.
What's the thought there in terms of Justin said you wanted them to go quick after the score?
Yeah.
What's the thought there as opposed to calling a timeout to get settled?
We've been good in that first 8. That first third of the clock, 8 to 10 seconds. I just talked about how for the majority of the game we weren't great, but we had a few possessions with pitch aheads, with rim runs, early duck-ins, with guards getting to the rim, and so we want to explore that first. If we got leveled, I told our guys that I would use our last one, and Justin made a huge play.
Justin and Jabri said you were pretty animated in the locker room at halftime. Just how frustrating was that first half for you on the sidelines, and what were you kind of trying to do there to get the guys to wake up or get motivated?
I just tried something there. I mean, sometimes you let it out a little bit. Only have a few bullets every season. These are tricky because, again, LSU had a lot to do with our deficiencies, but our attention to detail tonight was nowhere near where it was on Saturday, and that's not acceptable. I'm saying that after a win. I'm just being honest with you, as I was with our team, that it's something that we've got to continue to address. LSU's very good. LSU's a great program, and McMahon's won 1 million games, and they've got good players, and we were really, really fortunate, to hit a last-second shot, to get over the hump. But and I'm fine with not having success if your approach is great. It started at shoot-around today. I just didn't think we were great, and it's something that we're going to pride ourselves on here at Georgia, regardless of whether we win or lose. But our approach and our attention to detail, our level of execution, and we made some plays, obviously, but we also had 5 or 6 times out there where a play is called, and we just, I don't know what we're doing. We're 1 or 2 or 3 guys are doing the wrong thing, and Alabama will have our attention. But you've got every practice, every game has got to be. What is your standard? How good do you want to be? Well, just frustrating in certain areas tonight in those regards, but proud of the fight down the stretch, the connectivity again defensively, the play Justin made. I thought Juice was terrific. Just on hold, played really, really hard. I thought Braylon Bridges was great again. That's probably as hard as he's played in back-to-back games all year. And I wish, he's 4 or 5, and I said it on the radio, he should have had more than 5 attempts. In a game like this where they weren't doubling, because I don't know if he'll get 5 attempts Saturday, against one of the best defenses in the country, of course. But when he's open, we can't have our mind made up that maybe it's my turn to shoot it, or let's experiment with something here. Braylon Bridges is shooting a high percentage that's throwing the ball, and the few opportunities he got, man, he 4 or 5 and 5 or 5. He should have touched it more.
Terry looked like he What would you comment on Terry's play tonight? It was uncharacteristic.
Yep, very uncharacteristic. He really struggled in his defense. I can't name another one like this. You know, that's pretty consistent. This was not his night, right? And he'll tell you that. But he hasn't had a tough night in a long time, and he's arguably our best player, arguably our best defender. We play through him a lot, where he creates for himself and makes others around him better. And he struggled, and I would anticipate a big bounce back from him.
What's the thought in bringing him off the bench as opposed to Justin? Is it just wanting to keep Justin in there because he's been playing well? Is it coming back off the injury?
Well, yeah. So before the last one, didn't even know he was going to play,
right?
And he's out for a while. So yeah, let's put you in, see how you feel, check your wind, evaluate it, and we played really well. Probably our best game of the season. Justin Hill's put 2 or 3 really good games together. So who do you take out of the lineup? You know, and you want to build a culture here where your best player, whether he's the third guy coming in the game or whether he's starting 60 games in a row, is going to lead either way and be the same guy either way, whether he gets 20 shots or he gets 7 shots. And so I've never been huge on, well, certain guys have to start and certain guys aren't allowed to start. We're not good enough to worry about those things, you know. And I thought he did a pretty good job responding. We put him in a couple minutes in, because the question is always, let's start this guy. Well, he can take out a lineup, you know, and how's that going to affect how we play and our energy level and our defense early and our camaraderie and those decisions are tough. Who knows who will start Saturday? But I thought his attitude was good. Like 4 or 5 other guys, our confidence wavered a little bit throughout that game offensively. And again, LSU did a good job of swarming to the basketball, hands-on basketballs, forcing turnovers. We had some ugly possessions.
Mike, you mentioned Alabama. How special is that group compared to other teams you've seen since you've been in the league?
You know what? I haven't seen them play a lot. I did watch their game versus LSU. I've seen a couple, you know, where you go and watch all their defensive or offensive or both possessions versus teams, you know, in the past couple of weeks we're preparing for. But to say I've sat there and watched a handful in their entirety, you know, in the game sequence, I'd be lying to you. But from what I've seen to this point, my goodness, they are really, really good. I don't know how you score on them, and I don't know how you stop them. I don't know how you block them out. I don't know how you value the ball against their length and speed and athleticism. They've got depth. They shoot the heck out of it. They space you. Their bigs rim run. Their bigs shoot it. Their bigs can drive it. Their bigs can pass it. Their backcourt is high level. I mean, they're really good. They're one of the few teams in the country who have a chance to win the national championship. And it'll be a really good test for us and an opportunity to play against the best and see where we stack up. And we got to be off tomorrow. I'm anxious for Thursday to start preparing, and our guys will be locked in. And obviously, you hope we play well enough to be competitive. You know, that's first things first. You hope we're in the game at the first or second media.
You're in the grind right now, 26 games in and everything else, but you do have some things to play for at this point. Is that any type of motivation, or is it just too much in one game?
It's motivation for me, for sure. And you know, I'm sure some or most or all of our guys. I'm just not. You know, I don't have those individual. You know, how badly do you want to play postseason? How badly do you want to win the next one? We're just an in-the-moment type program, one day at a time, trying to grow. You know, hope that we made a huge jump tonight. Did some things, but you know, some things we got to continue to get better at, of course. But we had our second big picture conversation maybe a week ago. It all runs together. It's such a long season about, hey, you know, we got a chance to get to 16 maybe. Then you get a chance to maybe get to 17 where you're guaranteed a winning record. Then you got a chance maybe you win another 1 or 2, maybe play some postseason. It could get really interesting if you're off a few in a row. You'd be in the bubble conversation. You just never know. So I'd hate to not have the conversation. That said, We're not good enough today, to be an NCAA tournament team, but we have some opportunities in front of us, of course, and then you've got the SEC tournament where anything can happen.
All right, thanks, Coach.
That's it, huh?
Yeah.
Happy Valentine's Day, guys and gals.